333. R.I.P.P. Don P. PhD. Yo. I said, R.I.P. TV. Tell a homie. Mob Deep Mondays, that's everyday, thoughty. It's all for the community. That's what P showed me. We lost without the unity. Where the fuck is the OGs? R.I.P.P. God bless the real. Only for the righteous, the rest will go to hell. Flipping through the book of Revelation, figure it out. Transliterate the translation, do it yourself. It's the last days, life is a test and we in a cage. Concrete jungle, everyday struggle. Fuck the pain, I'm on some HNIC shit. Hegelian 3 shit. If you don't know what I mean, you was never G. Real shit, R.I.P. Yo, P, play that beat back, 333. Burn some weed, repeat that. Shake me up a tuka pack, break me off a 20 piece. I'm gone, never looking back. Y'all can't talk to me. R.I.P. TV, tell a homie. Mob Deep Mondays, that's everyday, thoughty. It's all for the community. That's what P showed me. We lost without the unity. Where the fuck is the OGs? Like the weed, play some IMD for me. It's hell on earth for real, but y'all don't wanna see paper trail politics. All the shit was prophecy, strictly for the family. Peace to the prodigy. R.I.P.P. I sleep when it's time for me. Dope dreams bring the skizzy, pour the Hennessy. Searching for some inner peace, couple hundred G's. Deadly weapons and some weed just for you and me. R.I.P.P. I sleep when it's time for me. Dope dreams bring the skizzy, pour the Hennessy. Searching for some inner peace, couple hundred G's. Deadly weapons and some weed just for you and me. Yo.
What up, Lux? What up, man? Time to roll the fuck up is right. It's time to roll the motherfuck up. So, what up, everybody? Yo. Beat Boutique was fucking dope last night, man. That shit is fun. So, I'm definitely going to move Beat Boutique up in the programming slot from 10 o'clock to probably 8 or 9. And then I'm going to start doing the Dour Hour at a set time instead of just randomly. I think. I don't know. So, yo, man, they was, everybody in the 333 was going crazy in the Beat Boutique last night. The Thunderdome was rocking. Which I just hope that inspires everybody to keep making better music and to keep pushing. Yeah, see, I'm already almost, see, that's all I need to hear, Lux. I'm just going to do it whenever I can. I'm not going to schedule it because I don't want to overburden myself. Kal-El, what up? Yo, shout out to everybody across this motherfucking globe that tunes in and listens to me pontificate about nonsense and smoke blunts because, you know, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon for me. It's the middle of my day. You guys be in like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning tuning in. Shit's dope. The one good thing about the Dour Hour and the Beat Boutique, well, especially the Dour Hour and morning meditation, YouTube never blocks those videos. And they'll stay up. So the thing with Beat Boutique, man, those episodes are definitely going to get blocked in other countries because last night's episode got blocked as soon as I hit publish. Because of the samples that are used in the beats, and I don't fucking care, dude. That's not why we do it. If somebody goes back and watches my videos after the fact that I've already made them, that shit is hysterical to me. Because I do so many live streams that just catch the next one. Yeah, Lux, it's better to be in the moment too. But if you're an artist, you rap, sing, or whatever, you can go through Beat Boutique and you'll be able to pick out beats that you like and you can hit up the artist. So in the future, I need like a producer. I need somebody to help me out. This is starting to be too many things to do at once. And I want to be able to put everybody's logo and IG name up whenever I'm playing their beats, so that people they know who to contact if they want to like collab or possibly purchase or lease the beat off of somebody. That's the whole point. I do thoroughly enjoy helping everybody out and giving you guys tips and tricks. That shit's fun. I've been sitting on most of the stuff that I know about engineering forever. There's no point in sitting anymore. But yeah, Beat Boutique's fucking dope, man. That shit is dope. I love it. Yeah, science. Like I said last night, I've been blessed enough to achieve everything that I've ever wanted to do in the music industry and beyond that by leaps and bounds. So if I can help anybody else get one step closer to whatever it is they were trying to achieve in this, dope, man. I've already got to do it. Yeah, Luxy, that's dope, man. I hope it inspires you to start creating again, because that's what we're here to do, is create and express. Whatever positivity I can throw out into the universe, good, man. I don't care if it drains me of everything I got. It's all about what you put out into the universe, not what you take in. So you guys can have it all. I don't need this shit anyway. I keep trying to tell you, I'm trying to hit that fifth dimension studio with P and Pac, man. There's a session scheduled. It's a good thing that time doesn't exist on that plane, so nobody's really waiting. So, what up, everybody? Yo, so let me ask you guys something. I was thinking of changing the YouTube channel name to... yeah, I got to finish that one, Science. I got so busy that I never got to finish that one. But I browerize on everything I do, so any mix that I have up, you're going to learn it. So, Science, we actually talked about browerizing with Obilo yesterday because he noticed that I was getting my buses on. And so we had an open discussion about it. And word. You can't be scared to enter the Thunderdome. You can't learn a lesson from me. Play your fucking music for people. There's 7.5 billion people on the planet. Not everybody's going to like it, but there are going to be people who do. So just find those people. Find your lane. You know, I'm seeing everybody's style who submits beats weekly. And, you know, there's lanes open for people. You don't just have to make rap beats and try to get some superstar rapper on it. Chronic is a perfect example. He could put together a couple projects and go out and do shows with just his beats, because I know a bunch of producers who do that. And then on the opposite side, you've got people who are linking up with artists through here. This shit is cool, man. Shit is cool. So what I need to do is, we talked about it last night, is I want to start a 333 radio station, and all the dopest shit that you guys send me, I want to put up there so people can hear it. Just another outlet for you guys and another place for people to gain some exposure off of whatever platform I was able to build. And whatever platform I'm able to build is all because of you guys anyway. So I'm building this for you. Because anything you do to support P or support me, all it does is get P's music and words and ideas and expressions to a bigger and broader audience. And that's the entire goal of this. They want to remove everything from streaming. We'll create our own. Fuck it. And everybody who is supposed to find us, they will, because they're supposed to. It's like you guys ever watch that movie The Stand? Well, the miniseries The Stand from Stephen King. It's gonna be like that. There's everybody. If you're meant to find it, you will be called to it. So it's fucking cool, man. I should probably curse less, considering that our audience is growing. But I can't help it. It's part of who I am. I've worked in rap music my whole life. It's just part of the terminology. I don't care how many multi-syllable words that I can string together and things of that nature, how vast my vocabulary may be. I'm still going to curse like I'm making rap music. It is what it is, man. I mean, you know, you guys fight and fight and fight to, you know, get your music on a streaming service, and then it's a drop of water in the ocean. There's so many songs available on Apple, Spotify. Now, you should put your music on all of those, because that's the biggest chance of more people discovering you. But what I want to do is just make a platform for us. Fuck it. People want to discover you, they can come here. I know you can make your own radio station. I just want to do it dope. You know, I don't want it to be some side thing that just sits in the corner that I update every once in a while. I don't do anything of that nature, so you got to make it dope somehow. It'll happen. You got to set it. I've already created it in the universe, so it'll happen. So, what the fuck is up? And what are you guys smoking right now? I am still smoking some Kushwick. Shit has robbed my lungs of a portion of their ability to function properly, that's for sure. Oh man, I look tired. Yep. Nice. So yeah, shout out to our sponsors, Cushwick Farms. Always keeping my lungs polluted, that's for sure. But all organic, no chemicals, no chemical fertilizers, no accelerators, none of that headache causing, cancer causing shit inside of my weed, please. Croatian. I wonder how the weed in Croatia is. I mean, at this point, dude, like, everybody is a scientist. Like, so it should not be hard to find really good weed, to be honest with you. Like, it just exists now. It's actually harder to find regular weed in New York, at least. It's almost nearly impossible to find, like, just regular weed. It's all going to be jet fuel. I wonder, what are the weed laws over there? Are they going medical and shit like that? Alright, so yeah, what's everybody doing today? It's Friday, so I got nothing going on tonight, so this is it for this afternoon. I will be mixing records later, but not live, amongst the other shit that I have to do. So yeah, we'll go Well, T, and you're a supporter of our sponsors, so that's why they solved that problem. Yeah, I'm gonna go a full 2 blunts with the Dour Hour today because I'm not doing anything tonight, live streaming. So, yeah, what the fuck is up, man? I don't know what to talk about today. Usually have to have shit to bounce ideas off of people. I can't just sit here and pontificate for like an hour and a half to 2 hours straight about nothing. I mean, I can. It'll get pretty fucking boring. Yeah, I've kind of been fasting, not on purpose lately, just out of health necessities. I want to like cleanse and whatnot, and I'm exhausted, yo. You can see it in my eyes. Yeah, I mean, science. I don't really record people anymore. I mean, I'd stopped recording people when P passed, essentially. Like, I'd do a session here and there, but the Roni really put a hamper on that. Now, if I've had a previous relationship with somebody and we recorded before, and you need me to come in and do it, yeah, I don't shut the door on anybody. Or what I always say is, I don't abandon anybody in the trenches. And so yeah, I just mix records now, and honestly, well, science, I would prefer to do that. All right, so science, here's the deal. I had a video editing program, so and then when I bought a new computer, my IP address changed, and my software, I can't transfer the license, so I can't edit videos right now. But I am going to, once I get another, video editing program that I can actually function in, I will start posting behind the mix videos and things of that nature. So if I get bored and I get tired of mixing this record, I might do one of them tonight. Just do it live. Well, T, and I intermittently fast. And I'm still kind of doing it now. I'm trying to get away from it. But I only eat once a day. I calorie load once a day, and I basically do a 23-hour fast almost every single day. It's just the habit I got into. It's just the way that I am. Wake up, smoke blunts, keep rolling up, and then eventually, like 8, 9 o'clock, I'm like, oh shit, I've been smoking weed all day and I haven't eaten. And then I'll eat something. So I used to fast once a week, a full fast, to where on Saturdays I wouldn't eat anything. I felt awesome doing that, but right now I'm a little bit underweight and I need to get my weight back up. So I cannot fast even though I have been. I just like the way I feel right now. I feel like a rock star again, and I would prefer to stay like this. And as always, I am a full advocate for the Blue Magic Superfood. So, if anyone as a musician, I think Alchemist is the greatest producer of all time. Just watch any show. Literally any show. I will never waver from that. Al is the GOAT. I have always said that, and I will always say that. Yeah, dude, I used to think that before I even started making music. It's just half the time I didn't know Alchemist had made the beats that I was fucking hooked on. I thought it was Havoc just because of P and Have. And, you know, I'm just a white kid from West Virginia in the mountains. What the fuck did I know about music at that time? But, Al's the GOAT, man. Plain and simple. It's not even a debate with me. Now, it's weird because if you put Alchemist in like a versus with another producer, and it ends up being a song battle and not a beat battle. So you're not just listening to like the beat and being like, "Oh, this beat is retarded." You're also married to whatever the artist did on the record. So if somebody just happened to have a hit record on your beat, you're going to win that in the eyes of the listening and viewing public in a versus battle. You just play hit records. It's not even like a beat battle thing. It was in the beginning, the first couple rounds, but it quickly, when Scott Storch jumped in, it was just a song battle because he was just playing all his fucking hit records, and he absolutely destroyed Manny Fresh. And now it's just like you just play all the records you were ever involved in. And Al doesn't have like radio hit records. So if he were to go up against like Primo or something, Primo's got like those mega hits. So in the eyes of the public, you know, that's an easy victory. But like the beat producers and whatnot would score that battle completely different. Like completely different. You'd just be listening to the beats. It wouldn't necessarily, you wouldn't be so concerned about what the artist did. You know, because I've heard some. No, Alchemist didn't. Scott Storch did. And, I mean, Alchemist, I am more influenced by Alchemist production-wise than anybody else, not beat-wise, but I like to make the albums that I work on like movies. You know, it's like, it's not just a string of songs in a row. So when you do things like that, sometimes you're not going to have any like radio hits or mass public consumption songs on a body of work like that. It wasn't made for that. You know, Al's beats always sound amazing. He spends a lot of time before he sends out his beats making sure that it is his sound. Obilo, what up, homie? So yeah, that's he's always done that. Like, even when he had to send me stems for Hegelian, he would let me know, like, yo, give me some time to make sure these sound right before I send them to you. And it's just like, yeah, you're Alchemist. I'm not gonna tell you no, dude. What the fuck? It's crazy. Like, it's crazy because I'm still a fan of the people that I have become acquaintances and friends with. I'm still a fan. Like, you're just... Yeah, man. Still a fan. Havoc's production is incredible. It's incredible. And I actually, at this stage of Havoc's career, I actually like what he's doing more now. It's just the stuff he did in the beginning was so legendary that it's nearly impossible to match or top. But as a musician, the stuff that he's creating now is incredible. It's much more mature, filled in, layering. So, shit's fucking dope, man. And then, honestly, like, it's hard for me to be a fan currently of things because I don't really get exposed to a lot of music anymore. That's my own fault because I only listen to what I'm working on. So that's another reason I really like Beat Boutique, because I'm getting to hear a ton of shit that I never would have heard because I don't listen to the new music anymore. It is a work process. and a creation process. So it's like, if you're a painter and you sit there and you're painting all day in the studio, when you get home, you don't pick up a paintbrush and like paint your bathroom. Like, that's just not the way it works. It's the same thing when you make music. You can be in the lab all day long, 10, 12, 14 hours. When you go home, eventually, you're going to embrace the silence and the calm within your mind so that you can try to create more. So, an executive chef doesn't go home and cook themselves a 5-star meal after they get off their shift. So. Yo, T, so before I actually officially dropped out of college and had just gotten addicted to rap music, I know I couldn't rap. Like, I knew it. I had already heard people that can really fucking rap. So I was just like, well, shit. So in order to start understanding the art of rhyming words and things of that nature and phrasing and prose and all that stuff, I actually wrote a bunch of poetry. It really helped too, because I was literally just like, I want to make rap music now. So I don't know, how do you start it? How do you start on something you've never done before, never even attempted? So I was just like, well, I want to learn how to do this shit. So I just figured that poetry was like the first rap. So I ended up taking a poetry class in college. So random. Literally just so I could learn how to rhyme words together and whatnot. And then once I really got into it, it was over. Fuck school, fuck college, I'm out of here. Let's go make some rap music. So, what else we got going on? It's Friday, so there'll be no Dour Hour Saturday and Sunday. So what we got going on for the weekend? What have we got planned for this weekend, everybody? What's something dope y'all doing? What am I doing this weekend? Fuck, besides making rap music and smoking blunts, hanging out with the wolf. Well, Sunday is championship Sunday, so you already know what I'm doing Sunday. I'm locked in all day. Other than that, I am just continually being impressed with the Fox's music that I'm currently helping guide along. Continually impressed. Every fucking song, I'm just like, hey, what, again? So, you guys should know, I say it all the time, my biggest thrill is the improvement of artists, to see the improvement. To see where you start and where you can end up if you constantly improve. That's the whole point, is just to keep getting better. And dude, just wait till her album's out. Just wait. It is listen, man, 20 years in the game at a high level. My first job was at Quad Studios. The first session I ever did was Missy Elliott. The first solo session I ever did was Christina Milian. Like, super high level from right out the gate. So you end up seeing and hearing basically everything, and you understand the work process. And usually with most artists, the vast majority of what you create is not going to be heard by anyone because it's just not good enough. And it's hard for me to be impressed, but I am thoroughly impressed by her skill set and her steady improvement. Like, thoroughly impressed. It's not easy to do. Billy Lyons, what up, homie? You know, fucking smoking blunts and talking about nothing right now. Another Dour Hour. Not all of them are home runs, that's for sure. So, yeah, it's the weekend. I mean, if you're a music maker, the weekend, if this is like what you do, there is no weekend. But for the 9-to-5ers and the grinders of the world, those days off means it's time for you to create. Do you have Irish blood? Welcome to the Fight Club, homie. Put these bare knuckles on you. Rabbi, what up, yo? So, even then, sometimes you gotta take a walk, homie. Sometimes you gotta sit here and eat some pitches. I guess today I'm eating some pitches. It's funny because, like, in the back of my head, I've got the logistic part of my head is spinning, solving all these problems that and not necessarily problems, but these tasks and things that I must accomplish. And the frontal left side, the creative side, is doing this right now. And somewhere in the middle, I'm smoking blunts. We just hit 33 minutes and 33 seconds of the broadcast. That's hilarious. Threes everywhere, man. It's a sign from the heavens. Yeah. So, what else we want to talk about? I mean, I've worked in Logic. There's parts of Logic that are cool, but I record rappers and I mix records. And Pro Tools, that's what it's made for. Record vocals, like literally. And then mixing records. It has I tried way back in the day. I'm sure that all the other programs and DAWs are like dope at this point. But, you know, they say to be a master of something, it takes 10,000 hours. And, man, possibly, but there's the issue of the wolf, and where I go, the wolf goes with me. We are a symbiotic unit. We do not move independently. What the fuck was I just talking about? Oh, 10,000 hours. So, I did mix a record in Ableton for an artist. He's a producer, huge, and he only uses Ableton, and I actually went out to Oregon to go just make some music with him for about 10 days to 2 weeks, whatever it was. And he was working on this record, and he asked me, he's just like, I just cannot get this vocal sample to sit in the right place. I don't really understand compression as well as you do. So, can you help me out? And I just sat down and was like, click, 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 bam, put it right in the right pocket. There was already a pocket for it. It just had to be put into the pocket. And I looked at him. I was just like, yo, why don't you let me fuck with this for a while? And he said word. So he just let me mix his record for him in Ableton. I was a little bit slow in my execution. But, you know, compressors are compressors. EQs are EQs. Now, Pro Tools sequencing is terrible. The Pro Tools, you do not make beats in Pro Tools. That's not what it's made for. It's made to mix records. And especially because the bounce engine in Pro Tools is still the superior sounding bounce engine. All you have to do is take stems and put them flat. Don't add anything to any of them. Just put your stems in different DAWs and just hit bounce and then go listen to them. And a lot of people don't understand that that's where all the processing takes place. How good is that engine? How fast is it? How powerful is it? And how good is the math? So the bounce engine is key. That's why Ableton, the bounce engine is terrible in Ableton, because you can open up 150 plugins on each track in Ableton and it never slows down. It's all in creating. You got to take them stems and put them in something else to mix it. The bounce engine is terrible. Reasons is trash. Fruity Loops, same thing. Machine, there's a clear difference from Machine's bounce engine and Pro Tools. You can just hear it. Yeah, but it's not even just the rendering, Obi. Just try it. Just try. I know you can set different parameters for things, but just try it. I mean, like I said, things have gotten much better. There's other mixing DAWs now that exist. And, I've just been a Pro Tools head because way back in the day, its bounce engine was far superior. So, and I just trust it, and I always have. And, it's like I learned that language and became an expert at it. So I just tried to be the master of one. So anyway, back to the 10,000 hours. So they always said in order to master something, it requires at minimum 10,000 hours. That is a misnomer that just puts an artificial number, an artificial ceiling on something. That's pretty irrelevant, to be honest with you. So, I believe that a master doesn't know everything about a subject, because that's impossible. A subject will always continue to grow and evolve, and new information will be added. A master knows all of the mistakes that one can make in a field and how to avoid them. That's what a master is. Essentially, you put 10,000 hours into something, you're going to run into every single mistake you could have possibly ran into, and then have a solution for it. And if you guys understand mixing in Pro Tools or something, any DAW, some issue will come up, a bussing issue, something won't work. Every time that you solve a problem within your DAW or in your mixing session or whatever, that's now in the Rolodex. So the next time that pops up, done, fixed immediately. It's not an issue. That's what mastery is. Now, if you want to put this 10,000 hour ceiling on being a master, then I don't even know what the fuck I am called. What's 100,000 hours mean? Honestly, what does 100,000 hours mean? If 10,000 is a master, what am I then? Because from 2003 until 2010, that's 7 years. Every single day, at minimum 10 to 12 hours a day. That's all I did for nearly a decade. So even if you cut it and say an average of 10, for 7 years, 10 hours a day, 365 days a year, 7 years. Just do the math. I blasted through that 10,000 hours while I was still at the Art Institute. I was paying for that shit, so I'm in there. And then B, I just could not get enough of being in the studio, and I literally never left. Lived at Infamous Studios for 7 years. So if you really want to think about it, I was already a master at recording rap vocals when P got out of jail. That's why I had my job. But if you take all of that time and training and then add all of the time that me and P spent together in the lab over that time, that 7-year period, then what? We're talking about 14 years of... Dude, it's retarded. I tried to do the math one day because I thought about that 10,000 hour thing. And then I read an ulterior lane of thought that said a master understands all of the mistakes and how to avoid them. Then I was just like, yeah, see, you could become a master in under 10,000 hours. It doesn't take that long. It might take some people longer. That's why the artificial number is kind of weird. It's funny because a lot of people, I'd go to studios and they'd be like, yo, you know how to use Logic? No. No, I don't, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to sit there and look like a fool trying to use your system. And I would tell them I am a Pro Tools. I am it. That's it. I have mastered one thing, and I am going to continue to be a master of that one thing. Dude, I can't read books because my mind spins too fast. My eyes, it's just too much. I have a photographic memory too, so my brain doesn't process information by reading words. So I have read a few books. Dour Hour, that was pretty fucking cool. The other books that I've told you, it's weird because when it comes to spirituality and mysticism and books like that, other than the ones that I've gotten from illuminated individuals, I kind of already knew it. Like, I'd go to read it and be like, yeah, okay, I get it, yeah, 100%. So it's like, this definitely isn't my first cycle. So whatever I did in the last cycles, I kind of remember some of it. Even though you don't remember it, it's just like, oh, yeah. And maybe that's what deja vu is. Maybe we are doomed to repeat this life cycle until we learn all the lessons we're supposed to and we can ascend. And deja vu is literally like a glitch in the matrix because you're on repeat. Who knows? Because I have an awful lot of fucking deja vu. Yeah, T, and let me explain something to you about my brain. All right, so I have suffered 15 documented concussions. Now, in 90s standards, when I played football in the early 2000s in college, concussion standards were way different than they are now. You blatantly, to get taken off the field back in those days, somebody had to drag you. You had to be knocked out, and they had to take you off on a gurney. You got rocked, you wouldn't even tell anybody because you didn't want to lose your spot. You just play with it. Oh, I got a headache, whatever. So by today's concussion standards, I probably had 40 or 50 of them easily. Now, even before the concussive life that I lived, chronic migraines and cluster headaches, it's a genetic thing. I've always had them. Both my grandmothers, my mom, my twin sister, it happens. So my head has always been like different, to say the least. And they tried to put me on Ritalin when I was 4 and 5, and my mom, being the gangster that she was just like, that shit ain't happening. He's different. He's different. He's not. He doesn't need that shit. So, and plus it was the 80s. Ritalin just turned you into a fucking zombie back then. As it does now, but back then was like the first iteration, so they didn't even know what the fuck it was actually going to do. Long-term effects, right? So, amongst my many concussions and cluster headaches, I have had brain scans galore. I've CT scans. Good thing that I'm not claustrophobic because I used to lay in them shits all the time. All types of testing and whatnot to try to figure out, like, A, what the fuck is going on. And also, when I lived in Boston for college, there was like 40 hospitals in Boston. They were doing so much research over there. I just signed up for anything that was migraine research, just to be like, yeah, let's find a fucking solution to this shit. So, anyway. Along my path, I meet some illuminated individuals. And one of them is like, yeah, you're different. Why don't you come with me? And so eventually I go through some illuminated brain testing. This is a true story. And I'm in this office and I go through this brain scan and they're testing alpha, gamma, and omega wave activity. And then measuring ratios and one against the other. And just a couple different things. This is like a deep brain scan. And this is really, it really happened. So I do the test and the dude's like, all right, I need just do nothing for 10 minutes. Just sit here. I'm just like, well, that shit's easy. I meditate all the time. It's nothing. 10 minutes is nothing. So I decided to meditate while I was sitting there for 10 minutes, and the shit's like on my head, measuring brainwave activity. So he gets the results back a nominal time later, and he goes, he looks at me and he's like, yeah, I figured. I'm just like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean, dude? And literally, I speak to him the same way that I speak to you guys, the same way I speak to everybody, unless that language is unnecessary within the given environment. So I was like, what the fuck are you even talking about, dude? So he calls in his assistant. He's like, yo, you need to come see this. So also in the office was a physics savant who was also getting tested. And when I say savant, if you don't know what that is, he had a learning disability of some sort, autism, whatever. But there was a part of his brain that was advanced, and it was like a physics library in his brain. Probably has no social skills whatsoever. A complete outlier of humanity, but when it comes to that one particular topic, is a literal genius, right? So he starts talking to me. He's just like, all right, so I need to explain something to you. And this is probably where all the headaches come from. I was like, finally, a fucking answer. And it was the answer. Outside of the million concussions, right? So he says, you see that guy over there? He's a physics savant. He told me all about him. He said, so in normal people, I don't give out names. These people, you don't say their names. Or I wouldn't be able to have this channel. I wouldn't even be able to do this. Respect the code. So, he's like, all right, so in normal people, there's a balance. Alpha, omega, gamma, during certain time periods, one will be expressed more than the other. It's like sleeping, deep thought, pain, all that. There's different variations, but they're usually about even, right? He said, that guy over there, his gamma activity is almost like 70%. Instead of there being like an equal balance of like 333. Imagine that, how the brain works. He's like, his is almost double. And then he looked at me. I'm not making this up. He says, yours is over 80%. And I was just like, all right, so what's that mean? And he was just like, he said, it's literally, gamma waves at all times, just pulsing. And he said your brain physically cannot handle all of it, the electrical activity, sometimes. And hence, cluster headaches and chronic migraines. Now, the real question is it worth it? Well, if you've ever lived with chronic pain, then you kind of get used to it. Like P said, the shit becomes your friend. And it just kind of makes you feel normal. And I know that's really weird to fucking say. But if you've ever lived with chronic pain, then you understand that it does become comforting in a weird way. It is your normal. So, used to it. But not, that suicide headache the other day that was like, oh, look, they're shutting me down. Don't shut me down. I didn't say nobody's names. I see my internet bugging. I didn't say nobody's names, and I won't. God damn it. I tried the whole microtherapy, Larry. The microdosing, and it didn't stop it. No, it didn't. My brain is just always like that, dude. It's always been different. All right, so I don't have to do math. The answers just show up in my head. It's photographic memory. I have near total recall, which is why everybody's just like, dude, I learned how to tell stories from P, but I'm an effective storyteller because I remember all the small details. So gamma activities off the charts. It allows me to be who I am, but there is also a heavy toll to pay. And when I'm going through those headaches, I've had 7 that I would consider suicide level headaches. It's not worth it while you're going through that. But all the other time, yeah, sure, whatever. The other headaches, in comparison, are so minuscule to that. It's just like, whatever. Now, the funny thing about all that is pain tolerance is absolutely through the roof. Like, just through the roof. Tattoos, awesome. I actually think tattoos are good pain therapy because it's just somewhere else for a change. I know that is fucked up to say, y'all. But it's just not, your brain isn't hurting for a couple seconds. For however long it takes them to do it. It's like, guaranteed, unless you're in a full migraine run, that the pain is somewhere else for a second. I mean, it is what it is, man. I openly talk about it because if anybody else is experiencing chronic pain and whatnot, then maybe there's something that I say that'll make it a little bit easier, because I do have a lifetime of experience with it at this point. Now, you guys want to hear something funny about this? Well, that's exactly when I heard you could never feel my pain, it was over for me. That was it. I was like, yep, I want to do this. I want to do that, because he gets it. He understands the interpersonal struggle. So I was hooked immediately. So, a funny thing about this. I openly court brain freeze. And I know that sounds insane, but there are sometimes if I have a headache that it doesn't hurt bad enough that you can, if you give yourself brain freeze, that it will kind of like is like resetting the brain and it'll go away. So I've been known to absolutely destroy entire milkshakes in like a minute flat, seeking brain freeze. Now, who the fuck else does that? I have never met anybody else that is trying to achieve brain freeze on purpose, and it's not like making a YouTube video trying to get clickbait or some dumb shit like that. And if you've ever been around me for a really long time, then you've probably seen it before, because I will get a milkshake and I will destroy it. boom, and then just sit there and eat that brain freeze, because that brain freeze only lasts for a couple seconds. That headache might last for a fucking month. So I'll eat those couple seconds of absolute torture, because honestly, brain freeze, if you guys have, I know everyone's experienced brain freeze. So that's what a cluster headache or like a migraine, like a real one, like a migraine feels like the whole fucking time. So that 2 seconds, extend that for 10 hours, a day, 2 days, whatever. Just that intense pain, absolute crippling pain, just there. But the dope part is, whatever, it's not, shit ain't gonna beat me. I have lived a rock star existence while dealing with this my entire life. But yes, you are right. Me and P, that's one of the ways that we were able to understand each other on a different level, is we understood what it's like to live with like real crippling chronic pain. Because, dude, I used to, when he would have sickle cell attacks, you feel absolutely helpless because there's nothing that you can do to help. You just try to make everything as comforting as possible, but you're going to end up in the hospital, and then from there, there's nothing that you can do but just Reiki or send some energy and just wait. So to sit there and watch all that, kind of like the same way when I would be in deep migraine mode, you would know it. You would know it. It's fucking nuts, man. But, you know, we each have our something, I guess, right? Yo, so I'll tell you another funny story about having a migraine. Fortunately for me, it only happened once where I had a migraine on game day. So it was my senior year of high school, first round playoff game. We are ranked third in the state at that point, undefeated. We had one tie. I know it's weird. They only give you 3 overtimes in high school. But we were 9-0-1, third in the state, and I had been having a headache all fucking week. And I was just like, yo, man, can it just not peak on Friday night? Well, it peaked on Friday. So I decided I'm not going to sit out. I'm not going to be an effective football player. That's for fucking sure. But the other team didn't know that shit. And I didn't want our team to know that shit, because that year, you can look it up, I led the state of West Virginia in touchdown catches with 17. So if the other team doesn't know I have a headache, they're going to end up double teaming me from the slot the entire game anyway. Well, I only told one person on our team and our head coach. I didn't tell anyone else. So just the threat of me being on the field, especially on defense, the opposing team literally did not throw to whoever I was covering once the entire game, which is hilarious because they could have eaten me up that game. They just didn't know it. And I had 2 catches for -3 yards. It was the worst game I ever played in my life. But here's the funny part, and you guys might not think it's funny, but I do. So at halftime, we go into the locker room, and the only player who knew that I had a migraine, yeah, I've had migraines since I was like, I think the first one I ever had, I was like 7 or 8. So Brandon Cuffer, a middle linebacker, was the only person who knew that I had a migraine, because I didn't want our team to freak out. Like, oh my God, we can't use Joe today. We might be in some trouble. That team was trash anyway. We could beat them without me anyway, and I knew it. So, the team goes into the locker room around the whiteboard, and they're all like, sitting on the benches and shit. And I literally went right into the showers, and I laid down with my face on the drain, face first, and I just threw up for 20 minutes straight. Because it's football. I had a migraine, and though I tried to avoid having to physically play the game. It's fucking football. And my head did get rattled a couple times, so I laid face first and just threw up for 20 minutes into the drain. And I told Brandon Cufford, I was just like, yo, dude, whenever we go back out, just come get me. So when it was time to go back on the field, he literally came and picked me up. And then I was just like, yo, where's my helmet? And then we just went out and finished the game. We won, But, yeah, dude, headaches for life. And for those of you who have never experienced anything like that, good for you, man, because it sucks. You guys will see me. I'll have a headache sometimes whenever we stream, because my eyes, I'll just be squinting like this. You won't even see my eyes. It won't be because I'm high. I'll literally be squinting on purpose. So, what can we learn about all this random headache talk today? If you're dealing with chronic pain, reach out to me. I have experience. I know what it's like. And I'm sure other people do too. And if you have headaches, or if you get a migraine, or if you experience like a real one, let me know. I will walk you through it, because I am very well versed in how to deal with the multitude of headaches that can come up. Now, my twin sister gets migraines. She always has too. She also has a photographic memory. I'd like to see what her gamma waves are. And she called me once, which is a rarity. Usually text. And she says, how do you do this? And I was like, what? She's like, I was walking through Home Depot, and then all of a sudden it felt like I got shot. Like my brain, just everything hurt at once. I couldn't see, I couldn't hear, I couldn't move. It was the worst pain I've ever been through. I was just like, yeah, no, we won. We won. It was, come on, photographic memory. Hamlin was the name of that team. The worst game I've ever played. Literally the worst game I've ever played. I made up for it in the second round, though, with a couple touchdowns. I think 6 catches. One of them was absolutely retarded in the corner of the end zone. But we lost that game by 1. I digress. Anyway, my twin sister calls me, and she's like, I don't know how you do this. I was like, oh, you went through one then. She's like, yeah. I was like, let me ask you something. Childbirth with no epidural, or one of those headaches? She literally said, I will give birth to another child every single day to not go through that again. And I was just like, and now you know. So shout out to all the headache sufferers out there, because, dude, when your brain hurts, just think about it. When anything hurts, you know the pain, but think about your computer hurting. Yo, dude, football in the 90s was so different. Jesus Christ. Practice was so violent. Like, practice was so violent. The games, yeah, there's big collisions in the game because you want to take out what you just did in practice all week on somebody that's not your own teammate. And, back in the 90s, you really fucking hated everybody. There was no social media. You weren't friends. There was no jersey swaps after the game. You fucking hated each other. And, but, practices were so fucking violent. And it's crazy is I played football in college at 150 pounds and 5'8" and a white dude, right? Dude, I went to college as a slot receiver. Within 2 weeks of watching gigantic gladiators literally cripple each other on the field, vying for the few spots that are available out of the 150 fucking people that are there, I'm switching to defense. I would rather get called a bitch for a shoestring tackling every single person that comes my way than end up in the hospital because these guys are giants. Now, I went to Fairmont State University, and our practice field is, and it still is like this, literally across the street. It's not even a street. It's more of a service road for the university. But across that road is Fairmont General Hospital. Yo, college practices were outrageous. People, it was nothing to throw somebody onto a golf cart and get them to the hospital in like 30 seconds. There were many golf cart trips for fallen warriors during those 4 years to go to Fairmont General. Outrageous. I ended up going, I had the head thing. Got rocked. Absolutely rocked. Couldn't stop throwing up. Yeah, but this is sanctioned violence. This is like, here's a helmet. You have a helmet. Use it as a weapon. Go see who can 2-man enter, 1-man leaves type of shit, right? Yeah, but you know what, B-Rabbi? If you don't have a helmet on, you're not going to use your head as a weapon. You're going to avoid using your head or leading with your head. You might rock somebody with your shoulder. Or you fucking throw them, and there's no padding to absorb any of the kinetic energy. So, your body absorbs it. So, it does hurt. But the second you put that helmet on and you know there's a layer of protection... Back in those days, it was, I want to see, like Rams. They used to teach us, for fuck's sake. I remember Tim Brown in high school would literally teach us to act like Rams to gain the momentum and like how to hit people effectively to like really send a message physically to them. Well, Larry Bird, welcome to my world. They're not called suicide headaches by coincidence. But I'm built for it. Whatever. That's just a name. Anyway, yeah, they used to teach us to fucking literally rise up like battering rams. It's fucking crazy. Now, the game is completely different. Even me, as a former 90s football player, when I see people get hit hard, I'm just like, oh, is he going to get up? Is he going to get up? Because these people are so big and so fast. Your bodies are not made to handle this shit. It's too much. But football is the dopest shit ever. It teaches you how to move as a fully cohesive unit towards a common goal, even if you don't necessarily socially like these people. You're all on the same team, and you also understand that guy has to throw it, that guy has to catch, this guy has to block. Everybody has their defined roles, and they understand that they do that. And if they don't do their part, we're not successful. You can't do his part. He's got his part. You do your fucking job. And it really teaches you how to function as a team unit. Just because of the sheer volume and number of players participating at once on the field. It's 11 people on the field per team. It's a lot of moving parts at once. And with that many moving parts, there's no one individual part that can literally take over and dominate. It's very rare. A running back can't dominate if the offensive line aren't monsters. A quarterback literally can't dominate if the receivers aren't beasting. So it takes more than one. It's the only sport like that. So yes, I would do it all over again. Football was fucking awesome. It literally led me to who I am now. If I didn't play football in college, I would not be making rap music today. I would have been a plastic surgeon or a chef. One of the two. So, I'm almost done with this blunt. This will be our last stream for the day. I'm not going to do anything tonight, and I meditate on the weekends, but I'm not going to do live meditations because it's just every once in a while I got to do it by myself. And yeah, I got so many things to fucking work on. Shit's nuts. Look out for the fox coming soon. 333 Radio, merchandise, things of this nature. Oh, let me ask you guys something. I was thinking of altering the YouTube channel name because you can do that like once, I think, and changing it from my name to 333 TV. Let me know what you think, because I really don't care either way, but since I do more than one show, it's more like a TV channel at this point. I got like 5 different shows that I do. No, I'm doing RIP TV on Saturday night. I'm just not doing the Dour Hour on the weekends, and I don't do morning meditation on the weekends. Our regularly scheduled programming will proceed. So I was thinking of changing it so it'll say youtube.com/333TV instead of my name, which does kind of confuse people because of the amount of ears and how I spell it. But I don't know. I'm mulling it around. I don't know. Let me know what you think. All right, well, I got a little bit of blood left. So for anybody who makes music out there, I've solved a problem today. I've done it before, so I do the solution instantly. So I'm working on a record where there are 2 verses and 3 hooks, but it was recorded as one layer of vocals. So not just one take, just there's only one layer. And I mean, there's some ad-libs and whatnot, but there was no double or layering or anything to differentiate the hook from the verses. So how do you solve that problem? Well, you can artificially solve it by using like a doubler or a chorus engine or something like that. I don't like to do it that way. Here's how you solve that fucking problem. You have more than one take of the verse. You just don't understand it because the hook wasn't flown in this particular session. It was 3 different versions of the hook. So, what do? If you are good with lining things up properly and really fast and not like guessing, and you got or if you have your grid set up properly, dude, just take the second hook, make a copy of it, take that, put it underneath of the first hook. Now you got 2 layers. It's 2 different takes. And then take the first hook, make a copy of that, and then move it over to the second one and layer them up. And if you have 3 hooks, you can do the same and actually make variations between them. But bam, you have just created an organic double without having to copy and paste or fake it through a plugin or something like that. And it's like they made a double or triple onto the hook without them actually doing it. So that's how you guys solve that problem. If they have done a couple different takes. Theoretically, it's actually one take all the way through, but you get the idea. If you make music, you understand what I'm talking about. Utes, what up, homie? You know what? I'm not going to change it. There's a reason I'm not going to change it. I'm going to keep my name visible and whatnot because Mixed by Ali and Young Guru stole my name anyway for their engineer thing. The spelling, they stole it, and they know they stole it. I called them out on it. I mean, I never trademarked it or anything, so there was nothing I could really do about it. But that's my own fault. Lesson learned. P told me when he met me and he saw how I spelled it, he was just like, "Oh, that shit is different. You need to trademark that." And I was just like, "Oh yeah, whatever." It was never really about business or anything like that. Too young and stupid. You got to be smarter than that. Protect your intellectual property. Because those who cannot create it themselves will take it and say they did. Welcome to the game, people. So, this blunt's over. My internet is glitching, and I'm going to go do some other shit. So, yeah, it's glitching at exactly the right time. So, you guys be safe this weekend. I will see you Saturday night for RIP TV. Remember, the 333 beat contest for January is going to be Thursday, so get your submissions together and, I mean, just mix between them like they were two takes. Like you have a double, a lead and a double. Now you have a lead and a double where you didn't have a double before. So, get your beats done. Make sure they sound dope. I don't want no excuses of it's unmixed. Nah, this is contest submission. You got to put your best foot forward. Remember, there is no submission limit. You can submit as many as you want. You only have to use one sound from the pack, even a hi-hat or a kick. I don't fucking care. Just make dope shit. And, the winner is going to be put on an album that we're going to be making together. So, yeah. January 28th. Get them to me. Also, if you want, send me your IG contact and your logo whenever you submit your beats for the contest so that I can, try to figure out how to put them up so that people know how to contact you whenever they hear your shit. So, that's how we're going to do it. So, stay safe. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Until then, RIPP 333, and I'm not going to play my theme music.